Hi guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, I actually wanted to talk about my March wrap up, everything that I read in March. Also, I want to talk about everything that I watched in March because I just don't read. Sometimes I get sick of reading and I'm like, I want to watch something. So, I want to talk about what I read and watched. So let's just get started. So the first book actually that I read this month, it's a reread. And I don't know what this thing is about me rereading books. Usually I don't. And this is like the third book I've read this year that's been a reread. But what that book is, it's called The Reader by Bernard Schlink. Now this book is, oh my goodness. So it talks about a young boy that's 15 years old. His name is Michael. Michael is going home, trying to go home one day, and he's really, really, really sick. And he ends up, um, you know, basically like vomiting somewhere. And a woman named Hannah helps him. She cleans him up and walks him back home. A couple of weeks later, he's like, maybe I should go, back there and thank her for, really helping me. So he does. And they start a relationship. Now he's 15 and Hannah's about 30 something or mid 30s. Um, and so they start the relationship during the summer, and then one day she just disappears and he doesn't know what happens. A couple of years later, he is in college and he's studying to be an attorney, and he is doing like a trial. What is it? Like he's a student, so he's like witnessing the trial basically. And he sees Hannah, and Hannah is on the witness stand. And Hannah is hiding something. She has a secret that is basically going to cost her life. And he is just, oh my goodness, he doesn't even know what to do. And you see how that goes. I don't want to, like, I can't tell you exactly what it is because it will give the whole story away. But when I tell you this book is amazing, and the last time I read, I was like 19, and it's been some years. And this writing, it's like the story is so complex, but his writing is simple, but it's also like still complex. The writing is like, yeah, it's like simple and then complex, and he just knows how to tell a story. And this book is only 215 pages. If you guys have not read this, I would suggest you read it. It is so good, and it's also out of my comfort zone because you guys know I'm like black authors, and clearly he's not black. I think he's like German. So yeah. The next book I read, which is also not by a black person, is Nathaniel Hawthorne, The Scarlet Letter. Now, I did a video a couple months ago saying this is one of the books I've always wanted to read. And, it's like Scarlet Letter, it's a book where you almost feel like a real reader when you read it. It's like, it's one of those books that that you mentioned and people were like, oh, I know you read it, like a Pride and Prejudice. So I wanted to give it a try, and I am actually pleasantly surprised. I really did like this book. I actually like Hester's daughter Pearl, and usually with classics it's just like such a bore sometimes for me personally, but this was not a bore. I actually really did enjoy it. I tried to watch the Debbie Moore version of Scarlet Letter. That was a mess. I couldn't even finish it. So I'm like, you know what? I know the gist of the story. I'm just going to stick to the book. But this was really, really good. And of course, I love this edition. You guys know I love the Penguin Classic edition. So yeah. Next is Mahogany L. Brown, Vinyl Moon. Now this is a YA novel, and I adored this book. This book, it's like books in a book, meaning that the main protagonist, Angel, she first becomes aware and reads black authors like Maya, like Toni, Jasmine Ward, Zora Neale Hurston, and she just gets so immersed in that world and their writings, and like, oh my goodness, it's when you first read like a Maya or a Toni, it's a you can't describe it. It's something that you just can't describe when you first read their works. And I just love this book, and it's YA, and Mahogany, she's actually a poet. And I think that's another reason why I really liked it, because she is a poet, so she knows how to put those words together. It's like lyrical, but it's like prose. Guys, please pick this up. And this cover, oh my goodness, I love, love, love this cover. This vibrant purple, and then the pretty illustrations with the pretty girl with the braids. So pretty. Next is Banana Bottom by Claude McKay. You guys know that I am doing Harlem Renaissance this whole year, and I always have to include a Harlem Renaissance author in you know, my reading. Basically, I always want to at least have one book that I've read for the month, and I picked this up. Now this will be my second Claude McKay book. This one was good, but it wasn't my favorite. In the beginning it was kind of boring, then it kind of picked up, then went back to boring again, but it still is a good story. So it's about a girl named Bata Plant. She was adopted by she was adopted by two white parents, and they really want to mold her into this, you know, young, you know, intellectual, you know, young lady. So she goes abroad. She basically goes to, you know, like England to be really just well groomed and educated. But she comes back to Jamaica and she realizes she's like not in touch with her own people. And she's like, I don't even know how to talk to them, and they don't know how to talk to me. I don't feel comfortable. They don't feel comfortable. So she really wants to get, you know, in tune with her culture, with her people. And her parents, they kind of resent that a little bit. You know, it's like, you are on a different level than everyone, you know. But she's like, I'm not doing that. This is my people, basically. So that's the gist of it. Like I said, it was okay. It was a little boring, but yeah, this is my second book by him, and it will not be my last. I have at least about 3 or 4 books I need to read by him, and then I love his poetry. So, but yeah. Now the rest of the books they were audio, and they were, let me get my iPad. The first one was called Sister Girls. Now, Sister Girls, it is 4 girls, 4 women, I should say. Crystal, Susan, Elsie, and Jewel. The 3 women, Crystal, Susan, and Elsie, they are attorneys, and they start a practice, and Jewel comes on board. She's like a paralegal assistant, and you just basically see how the women navigate through their relationships, through their you know, professional lives and all that. You guys know I love a good friendship, and then you got some tea and some drama. I'm all here for it. And so I listened to that. Really, really good. I love the audio. It's by Angela M. Hunter. She is the author. Now, there's actually a second book called Sister Girls 2, and I also read that. And they has the same characters, except they add like 2 or 3 more. I think Angel, who is Jewel's cousin, she becomes like an assistant to Elsie. So again, it's just the same basically story, just more women added with their, you know, drama and all that. Really, really good. I suggest you guys listen to it like I did. Angel M. Hunter is the author of Sister Girls and Sister Girls 2. And then the next book that I listened to is called A Weekend Affair. The best ways to get over one man is to get on top of another. Oh, Lord. Okay, so yeah, that's the title. And it's by Noelle Villa. Now, this is about 2 young women. They are friends. Oh, I forgot the names of the characters. But one of the women, she is married, she has a kid, and her husband has been cheating since they've been married. And he's like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm done. And then you have another woman who is, you know, she's really successful. She's all about, you know, her work, and she doesn't really have anyone to share it with. But she sees how, you know, bad that her friend is hurt. So badly, excuse me, that her friend is hurt. So she's like, let's go away for the weekend. And they do. And girl, they hook up with these men, and yeah, it's in a weekend affair. That is the title. Is, yeah, it's in the title, Weekend Affair. Again, you know, the drama, the tea, you guys know I love that. And then the narration was really, really, really good. I really did enjoy it. So those are all the books that I listened to and read. It was a really good month. Now let's talk about the TV shows and movies that I watch. Now I'm more of a movie person, but I did get in a couple of TV shows and they were really good. So the first one is The Gilded Age, by, who is that? Julian Fellows. He did Downton Abbey. And when I tell you, this is so good, I think the reason why I like it, it's about basically, obviously, the Gilded Age. And it's that new money, old money. But one reason why I like it is they have this Black elite family. And when you think about the 1800s, 1900s, especially 1800s, think, oh, slavery. But slavery ended in what, 1865? So that era is like what, 1880s or something like that. So it's been abolished for some years now. But I love how they depict the Black family. The main girl, Peggy, and her parents. Oh, I love it. And that costume and that dialogue, everything. You have some heavy hitters, in that series. So guys, check it out. It's on HBO Max. Love it. The next, this is also a series. It was a 4-part series. It's called The Girl Before. And at first, I remember I saw the trailer. I'm like, and I said, let me just watch it. And I really did like it. Like I said before, it's 4 episodes. It's basically about a guy that he's an architect, but he's really like structured. He's really into structure and rules, and he rents his house out to people, but you have to have you basically have to be like interviewed, and if he doesn't think that you are worthy to be in his house, he will not let you be in his house. Like, you can't rent it out. But it's like a smart house. This house tells you when the lights go off, tells you when to shower, tells you when to eat. It's like that. But there's some little things going on in that house. People have died in that house, and you just see how the girls that have been in that house, how they have basically what's been happening, what's going on. And yeah, it was good. I would say I was kind of disappointed in the ending. You did get some closure, but I thought they could have done a little bit better, but it was still good. I would still say check it out. The next is The Dropout. And this is about Elizabeth Holmes. Now, when I tell you I am obsessed with this story, I did not know anything about Elizabeth Holmes. I remember seeing that picture of, the regal blue eyes and the blonde hair, but I did not know Elizabeth Holmes she was a little crook. And this starts Amanda, how do you say her name? Cypher or whatever, the girl from Mean Girls, Karen. And it's obviously talking about Elizabeth Holmes, who started up this, company saying that she, you can take your blood in like one simple drop. But she was getting all these funds from these investors, and she was not, the company was not doing what it said it was doing. And she started the company at 19. So it was, and she ended it at about 30 something. But the fact that everything that went on in that company, oh my goodness, she was just lying her teeth off. But it was such a good miniseries. It's on Hulu. And when I tell you Amanda bodied Elizabeth Holmes, it was, oh my goodness. It's such a good mini series. It was week by week. It came on like every Thursday or something. And now it's the whole series is over now, so you guys can check it out on Hulu. It's such a good series. I urge you guys to check it out. Because yeah, it's really good. I can't say how many times it's good. And the last movie that I watched this month is The Reader. As you guys know, I had read the book this month for the second time, and I wanted to see the movie again, starting Kate Winslet, who else? What's his name? Ralph Fiennes or whatever. Such a good story, such a good book. Kate really embodied the main protagonist, Hannah. And then also I watched a really good interview with Charlie Rose and also both of the directors. It was really, really good because they just, you know, they really dig and excavate about the movie and the characters and things of that nature. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for the month of March, everything that I read and watch. And I'm going to continue to do this because I know I've gotten a lot of questions like, you know, what are you currently reading? So I will continue to do this, you know, each month, what I watched and read. And that's it. So I'll see you guys back with more Black books.